Yo, what's good, family? Here, yo, it's Bonus Boxing Talk, man, and I got my guy Will Connected Elite Sports in the building, man. You know, we got a few things here that we gonna be talking about with the boxing joint, man. You know, he's always in on the move and stuff like that. You know, we got good things cooking up himself too, man. What's going on?
What's up with y'all, man? Well connected elite, man. We about to, get into it. Talk about what's the latest in boxing.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you got all the action that's coming up this weekend over in New York City, man. You got Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda. There you got Edgar Berlanga against Hamza Shiraz. You feel me? You got Alberto Puello against Subriel Matias on that fight card too, man. So a lot of action with that, man. What do you think about Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda, man? You giving Zepeda a shot to win, or you think Shakur is going style on them?
I don't know, man. 'Cause they say they gonna make the ring smaller, right? So it's gonna. I want to see how Shakur gonna do, man. Keeping the pain up off him, man. So Zepeda, he moved forward. He threw 1,000 punches. So I want to know how Shakur gonna deal with that. I still feel like Shakur should win by decision, by unanimous decision, but that's a vicious task, man. Keeping the paid up off of man, because the paid definitely coming forward, and then with a 12 by 12 ring, thing, the ring will be like 12 by 12. Ain't that what it is?
He said it would be like 12 by 12 or something like that. I thought it would be like 15 by 15 or something, but man, I
I
don't
think
know.
I think it's 12 by 12. 12 by 12, that's small as hell. I
Yeah,
think the normal size ring is like 20 by 18, ain't it?
yeah, about 20 by 20, yeah.
It's 20 by 20 or 20 by 18.
Oh, no, you're right, 20 by 18.
Yeah, so 12 by 12, that's smaller than some of the rings people spawn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna
Yeah,
be a lot of action. Ain't too far you can go.
yeah, man.
I wonder if they're
Yeah,
gonna do that. They're gonna do that for the Hamza Shiraz and Agawalinga fight too.
I don't know. They might put it back to regular size for that fight. I don't know. We some people think Turkey wants Hamza Shiraz to win them fights. I don't know.
Now they fighting those 12 by 12 rings. They fighting 12 by 12 rings. I don't know, man. That I don't know.
Oh, yeah, man. But it's gonna be interesting though. But like you were saying there with Williams Zepeda, man, he threw like 970 punches in his last fight against Tevin Farmer, man. So yeah, he be throwing a lot of shots. So he'll have types where he'll throw like up to 100 punches around or something.
Then it's all about how the judges like judge it because most time it's about ring generalship. So it's like who's taking control of the fight. So if he coming forward throwing a whole bunch of punches, I like to see how Shakur gonna control this, man.
Now
Gonna be
you
a
had what it was Sean Porter saying like Shakur Stevenson can nullify what his opponents be doing and not have him fight their fight no more. So you think that could happen here against Zepeda?
that's when controlling distance though. I mean, how much distance can you control in a 12 by 12 ring? You know,
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing about it. You know what I'm
he,
saying?
a
And,
lot of
and you were saying there was Zepeda, right? Like when he fought, what was it, JoJo? Like he had like 120 over 120 punches around in that fight.
hmm yeah, he's very active. Man, that's gonna be a good fight though. I think it's gonna be a better fight because of the size of the ring now. I believe that if they fought in a regular size ring, you know, he wouldn't even be able to hit Shakur. because he fighting with 12-by-12 ring. That's gonna be a hard one.
Now that'd be an interesting thing to see, man. Because I mean, like what it was, you saw the joint with Truck Simpson and when Truck Simpson fought. You know how the ring looked in that joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like mad small there, man. So I don't know if this thing will be even smaller.
Yeah. What you think about this Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr.?
Ooh, I'm like up in the air with that joint right now, man, because I know that Brian Norman, has been doing this thing against like Derek Cuevas and the Jen Sasaki joint. But like a lot of people used to view Devin Haney as like one guy that could be like pound for pound. You know what I mean? But if he can't like land something to keep Brian Norman off of him, and if Brian Norman gets in the mid range, man, it could be good night.
One thing I know about the Haney, though, they know how to pick their fights. So with that being said, it's a weakness that they see. It's something that they see that makes them go out to that fight, because they went out to that fight. They forced that fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that they see that they feel like they can capitalize on.
They feel like I guess Brian Norman has like a opening there that Dev can take advantage of, over the course of 12 rounds or something.
I don't know. It's something they see. Because, they out of all the welterweights, the first fight that Devin Haney takes as a welterweight is Brian Norman Jr. And he's coming off of 4 straight knockouts.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
like you have a knockout of the year, and you knock the dude out clean out, man. He was he was on the stretcher, and the dude once he like came to, he was on the stretcher, and he was like screaming or some shit. That's a bad knockout, dog.
So if Devin Haney come back and win this fight, right? He come back. First off, who got more to lose, Devin Haney or Brian Norman Jr.?
Ooh, I say Brian Norman Jr. because he's the one that got the WBO belt, got this momentum. They had the whole little PR thing talking about someone grabbed their boots and ran and stuff like that, trying to say like that Boots Ennis didn't want to fight him, but now you get all this momentum, and then you go up against Devin Haney, who's coming up from 140, and if he beats you and takes your title, then that like snatches all that momentum off. Like with Haney, it's more about him like getting a third, title in the third division, basically. So it's like, okay, I could try this out now. If I win, great. If I don't, I can have another shot later on down the line. So I think it's more. Oh, all right.
I think Devin Haney got more to lose. I think Devin Haney, he's coming off a win that everybody's saying it was a kind of boring win. He saying he ran the whole fight, and then the fight before that he fought Ryan Garcia, with a lot of people, everybody seen what happened in that fight. We ain't have to talk about that one.
Right.
He left a year, and then he came back, and everybody want to see if he's still gonna be the same Devin Haney. Like, if he take a punch when Brian Norman hit him, and Brian Norman's going to hit him. When he hit him, like, if Brian Norman knocks Devin Haney out, Devin Haney's career is gonna go so far downhill. He's gonna fall Devin Haney career can go so far downhill that it's gonna be crazy. If Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr. If he outboxes Brian Norman Jr. and beats him, the unanimous decision, Brian Norman Jr. still has a chance to climb back up and get his career back together and still win. But if Devin Haney gets knocked out, lose the fight. It's like them big paydays and all that's going downhill. He's gonna drop down to being a B class fighter. They're gonna say that all the wins that he won was against people that was way smaller than him. Every time he fought somebody that was his size, you see what happened. I believe Devin Haney has way more to prove than Brian Norman Jr.
Now, if Devin Haney gets to win over Brian Norman Jr., would he be considered as like pound for pound top 10?
Yeah, I'll put him at number 10.
Because he'll have.
But see, you also look at who had number 10 though. Didn't they just put David Benavidez as number 10?
He's been they put him in the top 10.
I think he's number 10. So, with that being said, because he beat Brian Norman, do you put him ahead of David Benavidez?
I would. He's with Haney, he got the wins over like what, Lomachenko, Regis Prograis.
Old Lomachenko, who had a back injury, who wasn't telling anybody, who wound up retiring from that back injury. Then he fought a Regis Prograis, who was 34, 35 years old, way shorter reach. He control the fight by the same way he does everybody he picked. That's shorter than him, smaller, way smaller reach, older. Like, what guys do he have on his resume at his age or younger?
The only one he had Ryan?
Ryan, he lost. He lost to Ryan. And Dave Benavidez, on the other hand, we see he just beat a younger, stronger fighter. A fighter that was younger and stronger than him, better footwork than him, better mechanic, and he went in there and found a way to dominate and beat him. Right? Then he turned around and he beat a vet before him that was taller, stronger, naturally bigger.
But you don't think Kovacic was old?
Yeah, he was old. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is he was taller, he was bigger, longer reach. He was stronger. And he was the ex-champion, right? He beat Boo Boo Andre. Can't forget about Boo Boo. He beat Caleb Plant. Right. He beat Andre Durrell. Is it Andre Durrell? What's the other one?
Anthony.
He beat Andre or Anthony? He beat Anthony Durrell.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony Durrell. Who else? He got some solid wins. He's the youngest champion. Remember, he was the youngest champion ever.
Yeah. When he won in 2018.
Yeah, at 20 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Came back, lost the belt, then won it again. Came back and won it again. Lost on the scale. Came back, won it again, then lost it again off the coat. Then came back and won more two belts after that. Like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe that Dave Benavidez, he gets like the least credit out of all the champions. I believe that he gets the least credit. Like, I believe he gets dogged out. They don't really fuck with Dave Benavidez. They don't really mess with Dave Benavidez. If you ask me, they don't mess with Dave Benavidez.
What you said they don't like him or what?
They don't mess with him. Like, look at everything he's accomplished, and you don't hear him never talk about no Dave Benavidez, nothing. You don't hear him say Dave Benavidez best pound for pound or none of that.
Well, not like best pound for pound, but they'll say like some people avoid him.
That's it. I mean, yeah, because Canelo avoided him. And what Canelo say? Oh, he's gonna come here 200 pounds. That's all. That's why you're not gonna fight him, because he's gonna come in at 200 pounds. Okay, well that's the excuse then. Let's look up what Edgar Berlanga came in fight night.
Mm-hmm.
What did Edgar Berlanga come in on fight night? 193 pounds.
Yeah.
This is what he's complaining that he don't want to fight David Benavidez, because David Benavidez don't come in that big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he came in 193 pounds and he said nothing about Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah. So that didn't make no sense there with Canelo. Like if you could fight like an Edgar Berlanga who could be there like 190, 193, or hey, maybe like somebody like what was it, Sergey Kovalev when he fought Kovalev at 175. Like how big was Kovalev?
Yeah, Kovalev kind of big. He was kind of big too. I don't think he was 190 nothing though. I think probably was like 180 something.
180 something. But yeah, he's faced like guys that around that like 190 or whatever it is or whatnot. So that's the thing, man. I ain't understand that whole concept there by Canelo on that front. You feel me? Or it said a shot was on the chat. Secret Dance Move says that Hamza Shiraz will KO Berlanga. He says he's a big fan of Hamza Shiraz. Like KO him? Hey, that would be something in New York. If Hamza Shiraz knocks out Edgar Berlanga, boy, that would be something. Like like all that talk that Berlanga was saying, like, hey, you in New York, you in my town now, and all that type of stuff, and he ends up getting knocked out, that would be crazy. Feel me? So man, and what else they had coming up, man? Like, what I mean, you got of course the joint there the following weekend, man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You got, of course, Gary Russell back. You know, he getting there back in the ring and all that type of stuff, man. He going up against Hugo Castaneda, man. Like you've been around there with the Russells and everything, man. So what do you think about this thing here with Russell coming back? What do you think about this thing with Russell coming back, man?
He ready. He definitely ready. Happy birthday, man. You like it? Yeah, he ready. You know, he trained all year round anyway, so.
Yeah, he trained there, every pretty much like every day. You know what I'm saying? He said, what we got on here, he says the layoff is too long for Russell in their opinion. But he said, like, I mean, we'll see, man. You know what I'm saying? You got like Mark McSile that's on the same card. That was his last fight. And that was back in January 2022. It's like an extended layoff and all that type of stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if he get back and he does very well, man, then they're gonna say like, hey, there could be more stuff in the works for him there. Now, I mean, if y'all look up what the weight class is that Gary Russell Jr. will be fighting for this joint July 19th. So that's gonna be interesting now on that madness. But you also got the rematches on that card. You know what I mean with Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. Of course, we had that conversation with Sebastian Fundora, earlier, saying that he's ready for that work against Tim Tszyu, and he wouldn't mind the action with anybody there at 154 pounds. So if he gets through this bout against Tim Tszyu, then maybe we could see a more bigger fights out there for Sebastian Fundora at 154.
What do you think about Xander Zayas?
Zayas against Jorge Perez. That's gonna be an interesting fight. I feel like it's gonna be an interesting one. Perez, of course, got that win over Charles Conwell. And with Zayas, it is like he doesn't do it. It doesn't feel like he does much to stand out. You know what I mean? So it's like he might be able to get this win over Jorge Perez and whatnot, but him being like the WBO champion, if he gets that win, and against these other guys at 154, if they matched them up, I don't know if I would be picking them. You know what I mean? Like for example, who would you favor in a fight between Xander Zayas and Jesus Ramos Jr.?
Xander Zayas and Jesus Ramos Jr.?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think if Xander Zayas could go in there and be like, calm and not be reckless and just, I go with Xander Zayas. But like just as of now, just how they fight, I probably go with Jesus Ramos Jr. I like Xander Zayas better though.
Oh, you like Zayas better than Ramos?
Yeah, I think that he got more potential. I think he's more athletic. I just think he just fight wild.
But like the thing with Ramos though is like he's been pretty active at least this year. Had a couple fights this year and whatnot. But that's the thing about it though. I feel like with Zayas, they kind of like matched him up pretty good up to this point, and like he might be able to do something here with the fight against Jorge Perez, but I'm not sure about the other fighters that are out there at 154.
What was Zayas?
Yeah. Like you remember, like he could have been the Mando for Fundora when Fundora had the WBC and WBO titles.
Yeah. I don't think he's ready for no Fundora though. Not right now. Fundora champion. Fundora been there. He a vet. 10 years. 10 years pro. What do you say? 10 years pro, 10 years amateur, or 13 years amateur, 10 years pro. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of years of boxing.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing with Zayas is like they they had like boosted him up, for a good little bit. And then, after we had those couple of fights there at the theater in Madison Square Garden, I guess like some of the stock for him like went down a bit. But I gotta see if he would be able to get like if he gets a stoppage win over Jorge Perez, and that would kind of be good. But outside of that, man, I don't know like if Zayas can really like contend against a number of those guys at 154. There's like a lot of fighters out there on 154 though. Like it was mentioned, like someone mentioned out here, like Viper Murtazali up there is the IBF champ, man. You know what I mean? He's out there. He's looking for a fight, but he might end up having like a voluntary defense. They said that they ain't gonna be able to make that fight with him and Erickson Lubin. So they say he might.
They couldn't make it.
Yeah, I don't think so, because I ain't seen no update from the IBF about it.
I mean, they might still be in negotiation.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
They don't mean they don't mean they make the fight because you ain't hear nothing else about it yet. Because fights sometimes, fights take a couple months before they actually come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got a little. They might send to a first bid. It depends on that. If he's the IBF mandatory, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be IBF mandatory.
Okay, so regardless, then the negotiations ain't over yet because you would have heard it went to a first bid. You know what I'm saying? And I heard somebody say they supposed to have been fighting though.
Yeah, but I don't know like when or where they gonna have the joint at.
I mean that don't. That don't mean nothing though because it's a few fights that they ain't announced the venues yet or whatever. Like Antoine, where he gonna fight at? You don't know what his venue at, do you?
Nah, I ain't said nothing about that.
That's what I'm saying. See, it's a few fights that you can name that supposed to be happening that you don't know what the venue gonna be at yet. Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. You don't know what that venue gonna be at yet. I heard they trying to make it. They trying to put it in Atlanta. But you don't know where that venue gonna be at.
Yeah, we don't know what that whole November joint yet either. That's sometime from now too. You know what I mean?
What fight?
No, the joint the November card that they were talking about, or the thing there like for example with the Haney and Brian Norman.
Oh. Yeah. But I think you still have no venue yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't even heard them talk about no venue. They just said it'd make more sense for them to fight in Atlanta.
Yeah. They said it make more sense for them to fight in Atlanta, but that don't mean that they got something locked in over there yet. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, it does make for a good fight, though. Like you said, man. Said a lot on the line for Devin Haney on that joint, though. Said, yeah, Norman Haney's like, yeah, we don't know yet. They haven't like had any details on that yet. Like, I mean, hey, for example, right? Like everybody was, thinking that Canelo Crawford was going to be on it September 12th. And well, now we see they moved it to September 13th. So, yeah, we don't know much about this thing here with Brian Norman and Devin Haney yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing on that, man. Shoot, What else is out there that's coming up, man? Man, you got the Ben Rodriguez joint.
What do you think about they talking about anyway and Nakatani fighting beginning of 2026?
Man, I felt like this fight should have been happening by now, man. Like, there's like for me, outside of what happened in May for Naoya Inoue, there's no other fight that's out there for him within 122 or whatnot outside of Junto Nakatani. And Nakatani, just said unified, right? So that's the thing about it. It's like everybody's waiting for that fight to happen. So why is it that we gotta wait for Inoue to fight like an MJ Akhmadaliev, and then now they talk about him fighting somebody else in December before we get this fight with Junto Nakatani? Why don't you just go straight to the fight?
Yeah. I mean, I can't. Who you got in that fight?
Right now, Inoue.
You got anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, right now I got Naoya Inoue for that win, yo.
Why you got anyway?
Feel like he's more polished as an offensive fighter. I mean, yeah, Junto got some crack, but I have to like see if he's like, because the thing when Inoue is on, when it comes to offense, like it almost seems like he don't miss. You know what I mean? Where he said when he always talks, him and the managers is fake, saying they never fight in Saudi. So damn. Said like, what do you think about the all-female boxing card coming up? Yeah, out there in Madison Square Garden.
Say it again.
The all women's card there in Madison Square Garden on Friday night. You got the thing there, of course, with Taylor Serrano 3. That's the trilogy there that they got. You know what I mean? You're gonna have Alicia Baumgartner, in there. I think she on the co-feature. It's supposed to be Alicia Baumgartner in the co-feature. You know what I mean? You got a number of world title fights that's gonna be on. They got Savannah Marshall versus Deja Green on there. You know what I mean? Sharetta Metcalf against Shanika Johnson. So you got a number of like world title fights as part of the card. It's all gonna be on.
Why Alicia Baumgartner is not fighting Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano yet?
Like she ain't moving up from super featherweight, man. I don't get it. I mean, she had to go up 2 divisions because Taylor and Serrano at super lightweight. They fight for the super lightweight titles. And Baumgartner undisputed super featherweight champ. Now, depending on who win the main event, you might see Baumgartner versus Serrano.
Who you got that fight?
For the rematch? Serrano, I gotta see that Serrano finally gets one. This is almost like how they had them fights between Manny Pacquiao and Marquez.
You got Serrano beating Alicia Baumgartner?
Oh no! I don't know about how that fight would turn out yet.
No, yeah, I'm talking about that fight. Alicia Baumgartner and Amanda Serrano.
Oh, I have to wait on that one because, first I got to see like if they're gonna fight there at like 140. That the fight would be at 140. So you would see Alicia Baumgartner going up to 140. And the whole thing too, though, I don't know if they're gonna be able to fight. I don't know if they're gonna fight each other. I don't know, because Amanda Serrano was like one of the main people that got Baumgartner signed the MVP. So I don't know how that's gonna work. You know what I mean? So it said well, Brian Norman Jr. there, welterweight, Devin in trouble. Well, we still got a while before that fight actually happens, man. So once it get close to that fight going down, then maybe we see like how Devin, acclimates himself to being around that 147.
I ain't gonna lie, right? At first I was like, Brian Norman Jr. gonna knock him out. But then I know the Haney, and they only pick fights that they feel like they can dominate. So it's something in that fight that they feel like they can dominate. I just can't. Yeah, I can't go with. It's something that we don't know that they know.
You think they've been doing a good amount of scouting of Brian Norman Jr.?
It's something they know. It's something they know that we don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's of all the fighters in the welterweight division that Devin Haney couldn't get a fought. Like he went there against Brian Norman. I don't know if they tried to work out something with maybe like Rolly Romero, for example. Like Rolly Romero, world champion, so I don't know what's going down with the WBA thing, but Rolly Romero's there as a world champion. Maybe Devin Haney could have fought him too.
That's what I'm saying. But instead, he picked Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah, I just find that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I guess they kind of worked something out or something. Because of course they had Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney going back and forth, before they had locked down this whole fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just I wonder like what they thought about having a fight against Brian Norman Jr. Because remember beforehand it was supposed to be Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez, and that fight fell through. Because they were saying that fight was going to be for August 16th. But here's what it is on that front, man. Shit. What else out there? What do you think about the Usyk joint?
Usyk and what? The boys?
Yeah.
Usyk.
So you don't think the boy could do something to try to cut off the ring against Usyk?
No. I think Usyk gonna have a field day with the boys.
Ooh. It's a field day. Oh, damn. So you think it's gonna be like easy work? You think it's gonna be easier than the first fight?
Yeah. Which I think the boys got a chance because he hit with that body shot that they ain't count. That's why.
Nah, it's. I think him doing work with Don Charles, and I think he's like really kind of developed well under Don Charles.
I mean, it's too slow, man. Feet too slow. Move too slow. Like he's just too slow. Like Usyk is like a bigger version of Lomachenko.
Yeah, I've heard some say that. But I just feel like with Dubois having his string of wins and string of stoppage wins, that his confidence is through the roof. And so, with that being said, that maybe he's like, yo, I know what happened here in the first fight that we had, but in this next one, I'm not gonna, kind of like hold back or whatever it is. If you might have a different ref or whatnot, but I'm gonna still do what I do, and I'm gonna just try to break you down like I did in those first few rounds of the first fight.
Martin Bacoli, his confidence is through the roof, and we see what happened to him.
Mhm. Yeah, it wasn't he, but he was like a late replacement though.
Huh?
Like he had just stepped in though. You know what I mean? He had just stepped in because remember, it was supposed to be Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois in February. But then like Dubois had been out of that, and then they brought in Martin Bacoli. You know what I mean? So that's how that whole thing got sorted itself out. We said that the thing with Turkey Al Sheikh saying that the ring will be downsized for Shakur versus Zepeda. How will that work? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Talk about like how they could have it like as small as like a 12 by 12 foot or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I think that's gonna be an interesting fight though, regardless. You feel me? So that was the thing on that, man. Hold on, who was I trying to shoot, I was trying to hit up somebody or something like that. Or at least send a message to somebody on some drink. Man. So man, yeah, that's the thing on that front, man. So I mean, I'm looking forward to all the action there in New York City and whatnot. Um, I'm just curious to see how that thing in that tennis stadium going to be pulled off. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna be weird, man. Because they remember they thought that they were gonna have an event like this, but it was gonna be in Central Park. But I guess Central Park, they were like, oh nah, we ain't gonna pull that joint off in no Central Park. They ain't gonna allow it in Central Park or something. So they had to put it in an actual stadium or whatever it was. So I guess that's how that whole thing worked out, but that's the thing, man. That's happening. Shit. What else, man? Um,
We just my turn Crawford and Canelo. Do you think this fight is a gimmick, or do you think this is gonna be a real fight?
I think it's gonna be a real fight. Because I feel like they both of them know that this fight could be the fight that says who is the best fighter of this generation. Or this, kind of like this particular era, right? Like for 2020, so to speak, right? So yeah, you know how they had a whole thing of fighters of the decade and all that stuff. You had to, fighting for 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, whatever it was. So now, like here for the 2020s, like the winner of this could be the winner of the decade or the best fighter of the decade, and probably like the best fighter of this particular era. You know what I mean? So yeah, after Floyd Mayweather left the game, it's like who's the next fighter that they say is the man in boxing. You know what I mean? So it would be either Canelo or Crawford. Those have been the two fighters that have been around the top, in the pound for pound or whatever it is, the best fighters in the sport. So now you got both of them going up against each other, and the winner is saying like, "Hey, I'm the definitive number one fighter in the sport from this point, from like after Mayweather to, to today." You had like the Mayweather era. You had like, I guess I don't know, uh, Oscar La Hoya, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like Roy Jones. You know what I mean? Then yeah, like Roy Jones or Floyd Mayweather or something like that. And then now who would be next up? It would be either Canelo or Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a lot at stake there for that fight on September 13th, man. But me, I've been swaying towards Terrence Crawford, man. I've been swaying towards Terrence Crawford. There's something about him and big moments that he feels like he has something to prove because he feels like everybody doubts him. And when he feels like everybody doubts him, that's when he kind of like goes to another level. So that's why I'm like leaning towards Crawford, man, and him getting the win. And I think he's been in the lab like studying Canelo, his mannerisms and all that type of stuff. And I feel like he is trying to get the timing down of Canelo. Because we know that Canelo can't really move as much as he used to, like 3 years ago, and especially 5 years ago. So he knows that Canelo will be at a particular point that he'll be right there in front of him, and he doesn't move that much in comparison to Canelo's previous fight. Not Canelo, but with Crawford's fight last year, right, where he had to deal with a guy that had like a whole lot of movement, herky jerky, in and out of the pocket type movement. So he doesn't necessarily have to deal with that with Canelo, but he has to deal with, of course, the power punches of Canelo and him, trying to do a catch and shoot. So if he's able to get that timing down, then maybe he'll be more comfortable in the later rounds to catch Canelo with something.
Yeah. So who you going with? Bub?
Crawford by decision. Crawford by decision. It's gonna be a toss up. I would say early, but if he, like, for me, from the tail of the tape, he has like the longer reach, and if he's able to, and he's like a good get, he knows how to have his distance against his opponent very well. You've seen it in his fight against Errol Spence. You've seen it in his bout against Sean Porter, particularly also against Kell Brook too. Like, he starts off, throwing a jab and seeing where he is as far as like his positioning is concerned. As long as he's able to get that down pat, it really don't matter much what Canelo does as far as like a counter or anything like that. He might not be able to get to Crawford if Crawford utilizes his reach very well on that front. So I got Crawford.
I don't know who I'm going with that fight so far. I think that fight go either way. I want Bud to win though, but I believe that fight can go either way though.
What do you think about Boots scoring up to 154?
I think that made 154 more interesting. I think it's a lot of dogs at 154, and Boots gotta be careful up there. It ain't gonna be as easy as 147. It shouldn't be hard for him to make no big fights now. All that, he couldn't get no big fights at 147. It's like about 12 big dogs down 154. Like 12 of them.
Yeah, you named. Yeah, you had a bunch of them that you named at one point. You know what I'm saying? And you had all of those guys that would be ready to go, man. And people are talking about potentially linking Boots Ennis there with Virgil Ortiz Jr. And that could be a super fight there at 154 pounds. But at least for now, you still have other potential matchups that would be very good for Boots Ennis to kind of like start off his career there at the super welterweight division. You know what I mean? Big ups to Just Do Boxing in the chat, man. Peace to you, brother. You know what I mean? But yeah, you got Jesus Ramos is somebody that's a good fight. I know that people are talking about Boots potentially fighting like a Brian Mendoza. I don't know, but I mean that could be an introductory fight for Boots at 154. But you have him, man. You got like Sergey Boychuk, there, of course. You got who else, man? You got like Majimov.
You got Majimov. You got Boachuk.
You got Lubin.
You got Bakaram.
You got
You got Chris Conwell.
Yeah, Charles Conwell.
Yeah, Charles. I said Chris Conwell. Charles Conwell.
You got Yoenis Tejas, but they say he's fighting Abbas Barau there for that I guess WBA or something. But yeah, you got a lot of guys, and we still got to find out what's up with Jermell Charlo. You know, we got to find out what's up with him, man. He's gonna get back in the mix.
He's gonna be coming back too, and then you got he's gonna be coming back. You got Pandora. You got Tim Tszyu.
Yep.
You got some big dogs at 154.
They do, but you know, we feel like Booth says that he's like ready for any of those guys and willing to mix it up with any of them. You know, here for these next few joints. So I got to see like how he does here first off in this first bout at 154, and then after that, see what they could make their form on that front. So yeah, that's gonna be good on his joint, man. And what else is out there, man? Man, what about what is it? Manny, man, you think Manny got any type of shot?
Who?
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao, old man. I don't even know why that Manny Pacquiao fight, man. Like,
I mean, they look like they've been thinking about having that fight for some time, man. So it's been in the plans for a while.
They just think about money. They don't give a fuck about that man health for nothing, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Manny Pacquiao. You got Manny Pacquiao fighting.
Yeah, man, at 46 years old, man.
6 foot 28-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. For 5'11", 28-year-old. That's unbelievable. And he's the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Manny Pacquiao, 5'6", 48 years old.
Yeah, they got El Azteca there like 6 feet.
Huh?
They got Mario Barrios there at 6 foot tall.
Yeah, he about 5. I don't think he's no 6 feet. I seen him in person. You know, I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
I think he about Boots height, maybe an inch taller than Boots. I don't think he don't think no 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't look at Boxing Rec. Boxing Rec be lying like I don't know what. Boxing Rec got Antoine Russell at 5'10". Like, come on, man. You can't listen to Boxing Rec.
Yeah.
Boxing Rec tell you anything. I think Boxing Rec just be guessing.
They be guessing with them heights and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Boxing Rec just be guessing.
Right.
Yeah, I understand the fighters. They have some fighters on that list that way taller than them. They got They got Earl listed as like 5'10" and a half. I think Earl like 5'9".
Yeah, you can see around that. Yeah, you around that height.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that that could be potentially somewhere Barrios could just embarrass him or something. You know what I mean? But if a guy Tip Bailey's in the building, man, he says like Barrios is about like what 2 inches taller than Jaleel Hackett.
I can't even hear you.
Oh, you don't hear me? You don't hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Your man Smitty just called in. I don't dang way he see you on the what's name.
I don't know why either.
Smitty just called me and then knock your volume out.
Oh, damn. All right, hold on, man. Man, I don't know. You probably gotta have to see if it rejoin or something. You might have to rejoin or something like that after the call, man.
Say something.
No, I'm still talking. Hey, chat, y'all hear me? Y'all still hear me on the chat? Yeah, because it's like you like he went off, and then when he came back on, he wasn't able to hear nothing.
I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, we all good.
Yeah, you might Smitty call.
So man, so yeah, I feel like the joint with Barrios, man, he could potentially embarrass Manny Pacquiao in that fight, bro.
Huh?
I feel like Barrios could embarrass Manny Pacquiao on this joint, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Barrios gonna beat the brakes off Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
I think and Mario Barrios not even no hell of a fighter, but we talking about how old is Manny Pacquiao? 48? How old is Manny Pacquiao?
We said 46.
Oh, I said 48. He's 46.
Yep.
That means Mayweather was what, 48?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you said if it wasn't gonna be Manny Pacquiao, that it could have been Floyd Mayweather that fight Mario Barrios. Yeah, it's crazy.
Floyd probably he probably could beat Barrios because he fight different though.
Yeah, he do fight different.
I think it'll be a boring fight, but I think eventually he'll find a way to beat him. Cause you gotta look at Floyd as a defensive specialist. Like he's a defensive fighter, so he's gonna nullify his best attribute. That's how he's gonna beat him. But with
Pacquiao,
Pacquiao going in, he gonna go in there and try to out punch him and beat him like that. He gonna try to beat him offensive wise, and will wind up getting destroyed.
Yeah, if he end up getting caught with something from Barrios, then that could end badly for him. That could definitely end badly for him. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's I'm not really looking forward to that thing there for the main event, because I feel like Manny Pacquiao could eventually just get beat up. I've said it before. I'm like it could be the flip side to when Manny Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya and beat up Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah,
it could be the same thing right here with Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao.
That's definitely what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's gonna be wild, man. How that's gonna turn out, yo. But
But son, you never know though. I'm gonna watch them work out. I have a look at eye work out.
Who?
You even seen him work out?
I saw both workouts, but I got the joint for Mario Barrios.
I'm probably did you see Pacquiao work out?
Yeah.
He looked at the eye working out.
He look all right. I mean, it's 46. It's all right for 46.
Yeah, we got this in the site.
What is he gonna do against the guy that's like 30 years old?
Say it again.
It's like what is he gonna look like against a guy that's like 30 years old and taller? Of course, you seen what happened with his issues with Yordan Ugas. That was over 4 years ago.
No, not reward.
Back.
Abash?
Yeah. Say it one more time, bro.
I said, hey, you seen Pacquiao have the issues with Ugas, and that was 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
And Ugas was right, stood right in front of him too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing with Mario Barrios. Like he's not really much of a mover, but he could still like keep the distance from Manny Pacquiao.
Now, he kind of move around though a little bit. Barrios kind of like try to
Mm.
box you a little bit. I mean, he'll sit there and throw some shots here and there, but for the most part, he be trying to box.
Mm. Yeah.
But
I mean, he was doing that in his fight against Abel Ramos, man. He was doing pretty good on that.
um, yeah, I know one thing. He tried that boxing stuff against what's the name? Tank, and it ain't work.
Yeah.
That boxing stuff against Tank ain't work. He tried to use his distance and keep
And
Tank up off. Tank walk him down.
yeah. Walked him down, caught up to him, and then that was it. I mean, so that was something, man. But man, yeah, I'm definitely looking
But
forward.
he beat the brakes off of what's the name though? Off of Ugas.
Yeah.
And he gave Keith Thomas some go.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like that wasn't no easy fight for Keith Thurman either.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But I mean, at least the thing here was like he was able to do that work there against Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman just ended up like giving him a good welt, man. Tip says like the Tank Barrios fight was closer than the scorecards read. I mean,
You said the who?
that Tip Bailey said the Tank fight with Barrios was closer than the scorecards read.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it was. So they had him losing at first. The unofficial had him losing.
yeah.
I had Tank losing like I don't know why.
Wasn't a joint with
By
Floyd
two
was
by
telling
two rounds.
Tank. Floyd was telling Tank that he was losing.
Huh?
Was it where Floyd was telling Tank that he was losing?
Yeah, he said, hey, you're down on the unofficial. He said, you're down on the unofficial.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're down like 2 rounds before Mayweather said that.
Mm.
Before Mayweather said that, he was like, you're down on the unofficial. But the unofficial had him down 2 rounds. So going to that round, I don't know if they had him winning that round. He'd be down 1 round.
Mm.
But they had him down 2 rounds on unofficial. But it ain't matter because he came straight out there and stopped.
Yeah. Broke him down and then ended up stopping him.
He dropped him the first time, then came back and finished him.
Yep. That was an event out there in Atlanta too, boy. Man, they didn't do like I said,
Want to get even more out of TuneIn? You have the power.
They didn't do more events out there. So I mean, I don't know, man. I thought, before like Tank had this joint here with the Lamont Rhodes joint that he would have a fight in Atlanta again, but nah, they probably gonna have him in Vegas from this point forward. So that's how that joint go, man. Man, that's mostly what I got, man. I don't know if there's like anything else, man, but that's all I got so far, man.
What?
As far as like anything else, any other topics?
Oh, far as topic?
Yeah.
What about Devin Haney and the old girl? What you going on? What's going on with Devin Haney and baby mom?
Oh nah, man. I ain't even catch up with all that, man. I ain't even catch up with all that.
He said Devin Haney is a stalker.
What? What?
Yeah, man. She got a stairway on that man and all that.
What's his joint with Lena Syed?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The joint with Young Thug.
No, not the stuff with Young Thug. That's so old.
Oh.
I'm talking about the new stuff. She got a stairway order on Devin Haney. Said Devin on some stalking stuff.
That ain't a good look. If he be doing that, that ain't a good look. He be doing that. Nah. You gonna have to tone that down.
That's crazy, Darren.
Like he can't be out like that in the streets, dog. He can't be like that, yo. Yeah, that's something he gonna have to shore up or something, man, because can't be having them problems.
Yeah.
So.
They say oh yeah, you hear about the Brian Norman? The Tank was talking real highly of Brian Norman. But Brian Norman.
Oh yeah. And then what? Brian Norman Sr. said something.
Yeah, he was just talking bad about Tank.
Yeah.
Said Tank quit and all type of shit.
Yeah. Talking about Tank quit and he got busted up and bloodied or whatever it was. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, said Tank came in there one day and told all the cameramen. First he went in there and he said he fought him when he was 16. Fought. Said he whooped Tank when he was 16. Do you believe that? That mean when he was 16, Tank was 23. Tank got about 7 years.
Yeah. I don't buy that. I don't know how. Come on, I don't buy that. That's like them saying something about that their encounter with Boots in sparring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know about all that either, because there was a lot said about that. Whether it was on camera or off camera, but some things were said about it, and now it's like, hey, if they claim that something specific happened, then they might have to prove it.
I'm starting to like I'm starting to like Brian Norman thing for real.
Word?
Yeah, I used to like them. I'm starting to like them now. I don't like him because he talk bad about everybody, man. Like everybody's son's father, son and whoop. Son nobody never got out on the son. You'll never hear like, come on, man.
Don't it sound similar to another father though?
Yeah, Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of, like, being honest here, he kind of had the same vibe, so, but I don't know.
They came get him so they can get ready for their championship. They came and got my son to get them ready for their championship. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though, man. He might be telling the truth about some of that stuff you see. Yeah, man, stop listening in like 0.8 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, September Farmer.
Man, he stopped his ass in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You might know something.
Yeah, that was wild, man. That was wild to see that happen. It was wild to see that happen. But they say he want to get him in there with the winner of Shakur Stevenson and Williams Zepeda though.
Man. He talk all that stuff, man. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. He stopped that man in 30 seconds, like 30, 40 seconds, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all.
He kept saying in the press conference, ain't nobody ever stopped me. Nobody never stopped me.
Yeah. That's the thing about it, man. I thought that it would be something where, he would have to figure it out, late in the fight or something. And I don't know, maybe, get a decision, but to get a knockout that quick, crazy.
Yeah, he knocked his ass out in 40 seconds.
Yeah, that was insane, man. Shit, man. But yeah, I wanted to see like how what they're gonna do next with Schofield after this. So, I mean, I know that Abdullah Mason said something about him, but I don't know if that fight gonna happen until next year, if anything. So, we'll see.
They already offered him the fight.
Yeah.
He ain't want to fight him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Mason said. Yeah, that's what Mason said, man.
They offered him $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take the fight?
Yeah, you want to take the fight, man. I was like, damn.
$1 million, depending on where they fight at, he probably come on off $700,000. If that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know how they take that percentage off the top. So
Tax. They got taxes.
That too. Depending on where it's at, depending on where the fight gonna be at. So, man, that's what I got, man. Now I'm about to see what's up for this week, man. I gotta check the schedule, fight week schedule and whatnot out there in New York or something.
You going to New York?
Yeah, I'll see if I get out there, but it probably won't be for Friday night though.
You said Friday?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do the fights on Friday. But the Saturday joint, I'll probably see if I'll probably hit the Saturday joint though.
You let me know. You already got your what's name?
The joint for the I think I got some the joint for the to get out there. Yeah, I think I got something for that. But it's only for like one night or something though. But I'll tell you about it though. I'll tell you about it later though.
All right, it's a bet.
Yeah. Because I got a few other things I got to arrange here first before I head on out there. So gotta make sure that's taken care of first. So that's what I got, man. So that, man, that's what I got, man, so far, yo. So hey, that's it. That's the joint, man. We're gonna be having these conversations here, man. Got to do more of these joints. I mean, it could be like Sunday night or whatever it is or whatnot. But we gonna have more of these conversations, man, and then we're gonna try to work on something here on like having guests on to try to get more folks on here to join in the conversations, man. But that's what we got on here, and y'all check out Well Connected Elite Sports. Oh, of course, you got channel on YouTube. You can check out all the interviews he got on there. You got a documentary there with Gary Antoine Russell on there. So y'all check that out. That was for the fight, that he had on March 1st and everything. So Y'all be sure to check that out on Well Connected Elite Sports on YouTube there. And of course, here with the Boxing Source, we got your content here on our channel as well, man. Big ups to Thomas Hill here checking in on the late check-in, man. But we gonna catch y'all later, man. Peace out.